And a small town in central Massachusetts is set to spark a potential war against big tobacco. The Board of Health in Westminster is proposing a total sales ban of all tobacco products in that town. It would be the first of its kind in the state and likely in the nation. So just so we're clear on this means no sales of cigarettes, chewing tobacco, cigars, e-cigarettes, literally anything that contains tobacco. While some residents are in support of this idea, many vehemently oppose it and want the government to butt out. Especially the shop owners in the town who say this is discriminatory to them and would take away nearly 10% of their sales. To discuss this impending legislation, I was joined earlier by our RT producer, Tyrel Ventura.
Now, obviously, just out of the gate, for full disclosure, I am a smoker. However, I could talk on this issue on both. I can see both sides of the
We will try to be fair on this. So let's get right to the story. So tobacco is obviously a legal product, right? It's legalized across the United States. Apart from having to be 18 to purchase it, it's perfectly legal. Now, this town moving in this direction, do you think it's a sign of the town moving into a nanny state?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always that fear every time you see legislation, like really harsh legislation like this brought up, especially when you're trying to control a legal product. You know, as like you said, as of right now, tobacco is a legal product.
Right.
Any, over 18-year-old citizen of this country can walk in, buy a pack of cigarettes and walk out, and that's their legal right to do so. So when you suddenly start changing this, there is that major concern is that are we becoming too nanny-like? Are we becoming too, we have to protect everybody?
Right, is it becoming, it's a very slippery slope, I would say. I mean, we are treading on a slippery slope, I have to say, because what's next? Like, people complain about Mike Bloomberg in New York City saying you can't have a soda more than, 16 ounces?
Well, individual responsibility is really what comes into play here, and the state only really steps in at times when it feels that there is health risks involved where people are not being responsible. I can understand restaurant bans and bar bans and things like that because secondhand smoke is proven to cause detrimental effects, especially to people in that industry as well as going there. So you can understand the need for that. However, when you get into like total tobacco sales, then you're getting into a prohibition kind of area. Correct.
And now, but like I said, I really feel like a lot of people were, the articles I was reading and some people that I've actually personally talked to, really what's next? I mean, bacon is bad for you. Lots of sugar are bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Like I said, it does. Anybody can kind of suddenly jump up and say many things are bad for you. I mean, obviously, the argument with cigarettes is that you eating bacon affects you personally. You smoking a cigarette in a crowded place, that affects people around you. That is the argument through secondhand smoke and things like that. So you can see where they'll come, where the other side can say, look, you smoking a cigarette in the privacy of your own home doesn't hurt anyone but yourself. However, you smoking a cigarette in a crowded place, now, is it extreme to ban all tobacco products?
Ban the sales.
Yes, that does seem like an extreme way to go. But, in their defense, they say that we're trying to curb this because too much tobacco sales is kind of geared towards children. Now, again,
that's part of the argument, right?
That's part of the argument. However,
do you think that'll actually work? Will this tobacco sales ban, and we want to clarify that they're going after a sales ban. Will a sales ban actually curb smoking, though, if that's
here's the thing. I can actually speak from personal experience on this, is that, when my father was trying to quit chewing Copenhagen, one of the easiest things as a cigarette, as a smoker, an addict, when you're trying to get your fix, when you walk in and you see it right there on the counter, it's very easy to say, you know what, let me just buy one of those. So there is an argument to be made that when you walk into a place and you're trying to quit and you just see it sitting right there, it's that easy right next to the cash register, it's very easy to plunk down that money and just grab one and leave out. But again, it goes back, personal responsibility. It's on that person, not on the government, to say, to rein themselves in and try to control their own addiction.
I would have to probably agree with that. I think a lot of things, people are kind of offshoring their personal responsibilities now. But now the town of Westminster is literally right smack in the center. It is bordered by 6 different municipalities around them that may not necessarily share these similar ideas of the sales ban. So if people in Westminster decide, you know what, I can't get a cigarette in my town, so I'm going to go 5 blocks that way and go to the liquor store there and buy my cigarettes. Oh, but you know what? I'm out of bread. I'm out of a gallon of milk. They're going to start moving their money outside of the city borders.
And that is the fear of the local shop owners there, is that, look, people, if they're going to get their fix, they're going to get their fix, and they're going to start going to other shops in neighboring communities. And a lot of times when people go in to buy cigarettes, they'll buy, multiple things with them. So yeah, many store owners in that there are concerned about a loss of sales close to $100,000 worth of loss of sales. One store owner was quoted as saying.
Right. So, well, I guess, they're going to talk about it tonight. So we're going to see what the residents have to say.
It's an interesting debate. There's good points on both sides.
That's right. All right. That was RT producer Tyrel Ventura. Thanks for being here, Ty.
Thank you.